Wow. Wow. Keep them applause going. Come on, keep them going. That's an excerpt from the movie If Not Now, When. It's out today. It's out today on demand and digital. Come on. And it's starring my sister. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Damn it.
Out there.
This is my sister. I will ride to the ends of the earth for this woman, for what she's done for me in my lifetime. It all started in theater arts. She got a BA in communication arts. Born and raised in Syracuse, New York. Done a lot of indie films, Belly Fruit. Led her to roles on The Fugitive, Boston Public, Any Day Now, Moesha, Sliders, Hunnits, Cedric the Entertainer Present, and made her film debut with Baby Boy with the one and only iconic John Singleton, Tyrese Gibson. We tease her, we call her Peanut because she played his baby mama, but she's gone on to do so much more. And all along the road, she's been a writer, a producer, a director, a visionary, and she's here today to celebrate this new film, the one and only Tamara Bass, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
Hey, guys.
hey.
Tamara Bass, ladies.
Big day for you, T.
Yes, it is. Look at you. I'm so proud of you. You did not call me Peanut.
Nah.
That's what you be doing, Calloway?
Yo, Tamara, what you doing?
That's right, Tamara. Show us his real self.
Wait, hold on. Check this out. You text me last night and say, hey, are you going to clown me tomorrow? You text me. And I told you, I said, nah, we going to really get into, we going to talk about, this is a big moment for Tamara because to me, Tamara represents a lot of folks out there, a lot of voices out there that may not have the resources. When I say resources, I mean money, the funding to bring a lot of their visions to life, but got all the talent in the world, got more talent than a lot of the folks that are out there that may have more marquee projects. And so I learned a lot about the film industry by watching her growth. Since my daughter was born, I've known Tamara over 22 years. And so I saw the ins and outs, and I just think that is a story in itself. And then being a black woman navigating through Hollywood and now becoming an executive producer, a director, and a writer of the film. I just think it's time to stop joking and start telling the truth, Tamara. I ain't clowning this morning. This is it.
That's right.
No, and I appreciate it. You're right. You've been on this journey with me since the beginning. And honestly, I thought about it this morning, and I'm like, I don't know if I would still be standing, like all jokes aside, if it wasn't for you. There have been, conversations that you have talked me off the ledge, encouraged me when I was like, I'm done, I give up, I quit. You literally have spoken life back into me. Like every time I'm like, I'm going to just throw in the towel, that you come through with a word to say, no, I have to keep going. You saw more for me at times than I could have ever seen for myself. So since, we're being honest and real and not our normal brother-sister banter, like I have to say that to you. Like I honestly would not be here having this conversation if we didn't have all of the conversations that we've had over the last 22 years. So thank you.
Well,
Wow.
you're very welcome. And it's been mutual. I've learned a lot from you. I learned about, I learned a lot about resilience from you, determination. I know it's in you. You're very talented. And I also felt, a little bit of sympathy for you as a young black woman navigating in Hollywood. And I just knew that, man, this is going to be a hard road for her to get to where she wants to go. It has nothing to do with her ability. Can you speak to that? Like, what has that journey been like for you in Hollywood, being a young black director, film writer, and producer from the times we began, from the times you started to now?
It is hard is an understatement. I don't even know if there's the appropriate word. Like sometimes I have to look in the mirror and like, am I really a masochist? Like, do I really want to keep doing this? Because it is, you have to have resilience. Like, it's crazy. You learned that I was resilient through this. I learned how resilient I was through all of this. Like, I knew growing up, I was always thrown obstacles because of the circumstances in which, my parents were young, my mom, all of the trappings that society wants to throw at you when you're raised by a young single mom. So I already had that strength inside of me, but to navigate Hollywood requires a different level of detachment that Tamara, don't necessarily possess. I am so passionate and I'm so all-encompassing, and I take everything personally. I don't know how not to. And I spent a good 10 years being told all of the things that I wasn't. Never the things that I was, all of the things that I wasn't. I wasn't this enough. I wasn't that enough. I was too much of this. I wasn't enough of that. That takes a toll on anyone's psyche. I think anyone that's not a sociopath, it takes a toll on you. So I learned 1 or 2 things when I was young, as a kid, when I, first learning how to read, first learning how to tie your shoes. You can fold up and quit, or you can keep going until you get it. So I chose the latter. I didn't grow bitter. Yes, I grew disheartened and I had some tough times along the way, but what I didn't do was allow them being Hollywood to take from me what makes me me. So I'm not going to not take things personal. I'm not going to not, get it back up when you knock me down. That's who I am. And in taking that personal, I was able to say, all right, what can I do to change this narrative? Oh, I'm going to create. And I'm not just going to create opportunities for myself because I'm not selfish like that. I'm going to create for all of Black women as a big FU to Hollywood, as a big, you tried to erase me, but here I am. And not only am I here, I'm coming back with a whole army. So that's what led me here. I mean, I hope I answered your question.
Oh shit, man! Did you, man? I'm writing this down. I'm taking notes right now. I'm adding some of that to my next speech.
That was a Sway chat.
Just give me a co-writing credit. I just want a co-writing credit. That's it.
Oh, damn it. Well, thank you for sharing that. And just for the record, I'm actually a producer on this film.
Yes, you are.
Yes, indeed. And I'm a music supervisor, HB. Let's get it, baby. Come on.
He got his credit.
He got credit because all jokes aside, wherever I go, you go. Like you don't even need to know. I just hit you later, like, yo, guess what? Like, we got this show sold, and you're a producer on it. You ain't even gonna know what show it is because that's the level of our relationship. Where I go, Sway goes, guys. Just FYI.
There it is, man.
That's beautiful.
That's amazing. I want to say one more thing. I'm going to let Tracy and have to chime in because the movie itself is incredible. And it's a movie about 4 friends, Black women, who grew up together. And then they experienced so many different circumstances that I think everyday people go through. And it's really interesting because I get an inside look of what it must be like. Or what it could be like from a Black woman's lens when it comes to relationships with each other as well as with others. This film, you said, this film has been in the works for a long time, and it finally got an investor. I want to shout out that investor who stepped up to the plate.
Yes.
Wait till you hear this, Heather. Go for it.
I would like to shout out Victor Oladipo. He is our executive producer. Megan and I produced it, but it would not have gotten made without Victor. And even deeper than that, like, this is how this man blessed us. We give a pitch to him via FaceTime. He's in the back seat of his car, and not even halfway through the pitch, he stops us and he's like, ladies, stop. He was like, y'all have me at Black women. Whatever you need, you got. I'm here.
Mm.
And that was how the deal was done. And it doesn't happen like that in Hollywood. Just FYI for everyone listening, it doesn't happen. And it doesn't happen with the level of control that Megan and I had to make this movie. And it would not be possible without this man standing up and saying, I see y'all and I want to support y'all. So, yes, shout out Mr. Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, Vic. Vic, what up, baby? Vic came up on the show and sang for us a couple years back.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Remember
Vic,
that? It was funny to see him on The Masked Singer too. Like he really sings.
He sings and he's like that old school R&B too,
Right.
which is so crazy.
Vic was trying to get on the soundtrack. I know what that was.
Music supervisor said, nah.
Man, I would have loved to have him on. But I'm going to let Heather and Tracy ask you some questions, too. And go for it, HB.
No, man, Tamara, just congratulations again, sis. Like, again, it's so funny. Yesterday we had Oswin Benjamin on the show. And another person that's blessed and anointed and talks about that faith and that spirit and that fight and that taking things personally. I'm not one of those people that believe in that whole statement. It's business. Don't take it personal. I have a hard time accepting that. I really do too. So thank you for sharing that. But it's just ironic that you too just connected with my spirit from the first time Sway introduced us to each other, and just I'm always in your corner, and I just wanted you to know that again and hear that. I know sometimes I'll shoot you a random text, but
I was just thinking about that, the random text, like maybe what was it, 4 years ago or something. I was going through it. No one knew. And I get this random text from you, like, I was just led to tell you to keep going. And that you do not, like, I can't express to you how much that random text in that moment meant to me. Like, we hadn't talked. You didn't know. You just told me to keep going. And I was like, okay, duly noted. I receive it. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for giving it to me through Heather. Let's keep it moving. So, yes, our spirits did connect through Sway. I appreciate you.
And I appreciate you, and that's all I wanted to say. I appreciate you. You're just one of those people, Sway, and I think you kind of said that when you were introducing her again to the Sway in the Morning citizenship. She's just one of those people, y'all, that if you have the opportunity to meet her, your spirits will connect. And I love you, and I'm so happy for you. I can't wait to help
I love you
this.
too. I received that. Thank you.
And she will absolutely ask you for free food, too. That's her thing.
Oh, absolutely. You know how
meal.
mad I am about Corona right now? Like, I was thinking about that. I got like a year and a half of meals stacked up that are due me. So, and I'm trying to get to Jersey to go to Heather's house and get even more. So, like, Corona needs to ease up because I'm losing weight behind coronavirus.
Yo, let me tell you about Tamara, then we're going to get to this movie. I know we got to talk about this movie. I don't know what year it was. I remember exactly when I said it, Tamara. I'm going to see if you remember it, because you came up to MTV. You came to my office up at MTV, and we were walking down the escalator, and I told you no matter what, I think that when you first came, one of those times you first came, either when you first came to New York or when you came back, I don't know. And I said, no matter what, you will always have a meal.
Mm-hmm.
I told her that, Heather.
Told me I would never go hungry. I would never be hungry.
Yeah, and she ain't been hungry since, as long as I flew to LA. Let me tell you something. I flew to LA, I think, for a day. Like, okay. Hey, I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know I landed in LA. I gotta go though, but and she lived at that time in Pasadena.
Why you trying to embarrass me?
This shit might have been 50.
I got in my car from Glendale, not Pasadena, and drove all the way to Pico to get some food. Absolutely, I did. I think I got there in 20 minutes to meet you and Kelly to get me some food. I am not ashamed.
You got her a plate of food and she left. That's Tamara Bass, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo,
anyway.
My gosh, hilarious.
Play the food. And I said, you drove this? Oh, whatever, man. This is her directorial debut, ladies and gentlemen.
God bless. God bless.
I'm going to let Tracy get in before I hog this thing.
Yes, thank you very much, Tamara. I hope that you can feel the smile, because if we were in the same room together, it would be so wide. I'm very, very proud of you, and especially for attacking this on 3 different planes. You know what I mean? Like Sway said, and like you said, producer, but also director, but then also starring in it. Triple threat to the next level. And I'm wondering if you can share what your mental approach is for each, how it varies, maybe even if it's just like the self-talk, how you pep yourself up. But yeah, please, if you don't mind sharing.
No, at all. I think once I finished the script and I knew that we were going into production, I just was able to switch the hats. Like, okay, the only way I know that this movie is going to get done the way Megan and I want to do it is if we take control. So it was sitting down with Megan and us coming up with a game plan and us firmly sticking to that and not compromising our integrity any step of the way. It was like, if we're going to fail, which we knew was not possible, because you don't fail. Once you do it, there is no failure. Like, you did it, and if it doesn't work out, you learn something, so it's no failure. So we knew going in we could not fail. But if we knew that in order for us to get it done the way we wanted to do, we had to have as much control as possible. So once we got that locked, we knew we were producing it, we knew that our say was going to be our say. When our original director fell out because of a scheduling conflict, we went back to our, grassroots plan of co-directing it and said, okay, let's wear that hat. So through the process, I was able to compartmentalize. Like, if when we were in pre-production, I wore the producer, director hat, because by that point my writing hat was, it's done. Script is, we're ready to shoot. So I was able to focus on that. Things that, I'm a problem solver by nature. I am someone who can look at a picture and figure out how to navigate around it. So those skills come in handy when you're producing. Like, producing is about, it's about being creative, but it's also about putting out fires along the way. So just reminding myself that I was built for this. Like, I was built in the fire. I got this. Like, there's nothing you can throw at me that I can't figure out, so throw it at me. So that was able to be tapped into when it came to producing. As far as directing, it was great on my first feature out to have a co-director, just someone who we knew, like, together we saw the same thing, but separately, like, we were also able to see things that the other might have missed. So because we had all those hats, having a co-director was just icing on the cake. And then on top of that, when we step back, we're like, wait, we're making history here. Like, it has never been a film made with 2 Black women who are co-directing, co-starring in it. One of them wrote it, and they produced it together. Like, it just hadn't been done. So we knew, like, we just kept reminding ourselves of that. Like, you know what? Not only do we have each other and we're knocking this down and we got this, but we're showing little Black girls and little girls in general everywhere that you too can do this. Despite everyone telling you it's impossible, you can do this. So that was another motivation to keep us on track. Like, no, it's not just for us. Like, we got to do this for them. We got to do this for my niece that's sitting at home watching, and for my 22-year-old goddaughter that's just graduated from college. Like, we got to do it for those people to show, like, everyone else is going to be stacked against you. The world is going to tell you that what you're trying to do is impossible because that's just the negativity of the world. But nah, we're here to show you that it can be done. So keeping that in mind allowed me to wear those hats and juggle them effortlessly. And I'm good at multitasking too. Like, I actually like multitasking. If I had just one thing on my plate, I'm a little nervous. So all of that, just worked in my favor, and here we are.
Wow.
I'm just wondering, like, I think your journey should be documented. What's happened behind the scenes,
Mm.
to get to this point. Because even you talking about these different roles, and you haven't even gone nuanced on it. I think it's a lot of filmmakers out here, a lot of indie filmmakers that got a lot of great ideas, a lot of great vision. It's going, a lot of times it takes a long time, and folks
Does.
do not know, what to hold on to, what to believe in, what direction to go. And just listening to your story, if there's any indie filmmakers who are tuned in right now, trying to figure out how to get this thing off the ground, how do I get my project to the public in the best way possible? Like Tamara has been through it all.
I have.
to
I have
get
been through it all.
to get to this point. And give me your social, give people your social, because I want you to reach out to her directly too. What's your social?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have social?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have.
Okay.
Well, I have I have not Facebook because I don't know Facebook. I have Twitter and Instagram.
Okay.
At Ms. Mizz Tamara Bass. And I'm active on both. Like I am, especially on Sundays because it's football. But right now it's playoffs. So, but I'm active on Twitter and Instagram. But yeah, you're right. I've been through a lot. I often have people say, "Well, you don't look like what you've been through," and I'm like, "That's nothing but God. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, nothing but God, because I should look like I guess this is what I'm supposed to do." But no, it hasn't been easy, and it hasn't. The one thing I love to tell people is, you plant these seeds, and you have to just trust that you've planted them, and you keep moving, because you don't know when that seed is going to grow. You don't know when it's going to bloom. You don't know when it's going to come to fruition. Everything that is happening right now, if not now, when. Also, I directed a movie for TV One that's coming out, I think, next month, called Don't Waste Your Pretty. I did that during quarantine, so I was like, oh my gosh. And now I'm about to fly to Canada for a film that I wrote that for Lifetime. I'm leaving to go be on set for that, and I'm currently pitching a pilot with me and Deborah Joy Winans. All of those were seeds that were planted years ago. And that I would, times that I would be like, well, crying to Sway over things not working out. And you gently reminded me, like, just keep doing the work. Just keep doing the work. This movie I directed for TV One, that was a seed I planted in 2013. It didn't bloom until 2020. The movie I wrote for Lifetime, again, a seed I planted in 2013, did not bloom until 2020. The TV show that I'm currently pitching, again, a seed that was planted 4 years ago that is just now coming to fruition. So it's keeping moving forward, even if you don't feel like there's any progress, because it's like that meme that we see where it's like the person is pushing a rock through a cave, and you don't realize, like, you're very much at the end, but you want to turn around because you don't see the end in sight. You don't know that if you just keep going, it's literally right there. And I'm in that right, and I'm still got a ways to go. Like, I'm still coming to get free meals from Sway. Don't get it. But
damn it,
it was still seeds that, had I quit or had I thrown in the towel when I heard every single no that you can think possible, that I've heard no in so many different ways, like some ways that would break people if they actually knew the things that were said to me, that had I believed them, or had I stopped, or had I not had people in my corner saying, screw that, you got this, you are talented, you got what it takes. All the difference between me and someone else who is just as equally talented is I don't quit. So throw at me what you want, but I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to throw it in. I'm not going to give up because you think I should. No, I'm going to keep going because I know what God called me to be. Amen. And whether or not you see it, you can't take away what I am.
Boom.
So just keep going.
Wow, Tamara.
Damn.
And it's
Yeah.
Don't Waste Your Pretty based off of Demetria
Yes,
Lucas's
based
book.
off of Demetria Lucas's book.
Yes.
And it stars Carrie Hilson, Deborah Joy Winans, and Rhetoric Williams. And it was a dream, even if I had to take a COVID test every other day. We had a ball. Like that, those three, I mean, we have an amazing cast, but those are my three leads. And we never had a dull moment on set because they just made it fun. And I'm like, this is something I asked for years ago, and wow, someone's paying me to come. Okay, I got this. All right, this is fun. But again, a seed I planted in 2013.
When was the If Not Now When seed planted? This
Woo!
movie we're talking about
Okay,
today.
the first one, honestly, I wrote the first draft of this movie 18 years ago.
There you go.
And I put it down, kept trying to do other things, and then about 6 years ago, I pulled it back out and I did what's called a page one rewrite. So I just, took the concept, went back to page one, did a whole rewrite. That was 2014 going into 15, I think. I sent it to Megan. And Megan, is notorious for like taking forever to read. So, and I'm notorious for thinking the negative. So I'm like, oh my God, she hates it. She doesn't want to read. Like, she calls me and she's like, this is it. This is the movie we got to do. We got something to say here. So we spent from 2015 until we shot over the summer of 18 trying to get funding for it. We tried to do the studio route, but people kept saying, the writing is great, but we're just not making movies like this. Read Black women in a drama. That, of course, it's not your trauma porn. So they were like, no, we love the writing, but no. Then, we want to try to do another route. And people were like, yeah, we love it, but can you do this and this and this to the script? Or we had literally one person say to us, can you add a sassy sister girl moment? That also told me that you're not the place for us. So we heard a lot. First we heard a bunch of no's, then we said a bunch of no's. And everyone was looking at us like, wait, you guys are actually saying no because you don't want to change X, Y, and Z? Yes, because changing X, Y, and Z means we are now compromising the integrity of our project just to get it done. Nah, we're not doing that. Nope. And then eventually that led us to Victor. And Victor gave us the yes, and we didn't have to compromise anything.
There it is, man. Come on. I want to. I know we're going to have Megan on the show next week, so I'm gonna save some for her.
Okay.
I love some. I want you though. I want you to ask Megan a really good question about this whole. It could be about this project. This journey in this project. If you had a chance to ask Megan Good a question, and you was on my side of the mic, what would that question be?
Oh my gosh. Okay. If I had
because I'm gonna play it back for her. So let me tell you
Okay,
that.
I would ask her because this is something that we have. I don't think we just had this joint interview and we didn't ask this. What was the most challenging aspect of making this movie that you didn't think would be challenging going in? There you go. Bam.
There you go, Megan. Answer that, Megan.
That's good.
Okay. And so now let me throw that same question back at you. What was it? I'm gonna see.
Wow. Okay. The most challenging aspect, honestly, was sometimes in the beginning getting the respect of certain, how do I say this politically correct? Getting the respect of certain people that I hired because they looked at us as first-time filmmakers and you're women. I remember having to pull, and anybody that knows me knows I might be little, but I pack a mean punch. So what you're not gonna do is ever disrespect me and think that it's gonna be okay. So I remember having to pull someone aside and saying to them, like, after, repeatedly being asked to, asking them to do something, aka your job, and it not being done correctly, I had to pull them aside and say, okay, hold up. Let me remind you of one thing. And I did it in a respectful way. I did it just like this. I said, let me remind you of one thing. I put this whole thing together from the bottom up. And I can do everyone's job on this set, but you can't do my job. So when I ask you to do something, I expect for it to get done in the manner in which I asked for it to be done. So if you don't, I need you then to remember that not only did I put this together, but I am also one of the smartest people on this set. So the person literally said to me, yeah, you are smart. Too smart for your own good. So that just gave me the crux of the problem. I got it. Not only am I smart, but I'm a woman and I intimidate you. Okay, but guess what? I still sign your paycheck. So as I said, I'm going to need you to do X, Y, and Z. And I didn't expect that going in. I thought, this is all going to be love, Nah, we had a bunch of that in the beginning, and once we nicked that in the bud, it was smooth sailing. So, yeah, it was difficult a little bit at first. So I'll be interested to see what her response is.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Meet Tamara Bass. If you don't know who she is, get to know her now. Follow her at Ms. M-I-Z-Z, Tamara, Tamara Bass, like largemouth, B-A-S-S. Largemouth or striper, not striped bass, but the largemouth bass is the one you want to catch. These scenarios in this movie, you got interracial relationships, you got a strained relationship between a mother and a daughter, you got heterosexual relationships, the relationship between the women in general. What made you want to tell these stories? Why you wanted the world to see these stories?
I wanted the world to see a representative of what my life is like. There was a lack of movies that starred Black women that were telling universal stories, that were drama. It's like I said, it wasn't your typical, we're rising from the bottom and all that stuff. It was a story just about women and what they go through. And so I wanted to touch on topics that, A, are conversations that I'm having within my friend group, and B, that I know these are conversations that are being had in living rooms across the world amongst women and even amongst men. And I wanted to put Black faces with that to normalize our existence. We are not some outlier. We don't, just have these stereotypical upbringings that the media wants to keep perpetuating. So I wanted to show something different at the same time that I wrote a love letter to my friends, that I honored our sisterhood, that I honored the relationships that are in my life. So I felt like if it wasn't being done, instead of complaining about it, I'll just do it myself. And these are topics that I knew for a fact were being discussed. There's someone in my friend group who has dealt with infidelity. There's someone in my friend group who has dealt with infertility. There's someone in my friend group who is in an interracial relationship. Friend group who has dealt with addiction. So everything that I write upon is accurate to my life.
Tamara Bass, love you. I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
I got another credit on my IMDb. Come on, man. I got 2 credits. And give up my man Purvis Taylor, too. Purvis, who he and I, he did a lot of that footwork. Yeah, man, he did the footwork. All I did was say, hey, man, can we get this song? Yeah, Purvis is on you. So he did a lot of the footwork. Moo Fresh is featured on the soundtrack as well. We got Moo got in.
Yes,
We got
she
Moo in there.
is, and then her
Yes.
song kills it. So yeah, she is featured on the soundtrack.
Yeah, we got Kalani on it. We got Guapale. We got Maya. I can't remember all the folks. Estelle. You know,
Yep.
we got a nice soundtrack coming.
That sound dope.
Yeah, come on. Tamara,
Yes.
it's out today. How you celebrating? If not now, when? It's out today on demand and digital. How you celebrating?
I am, you know what? I'm chilling. I am breathing, taking it in, and then I'm packing so I can leave for Toronto on Sunday in quarantine.
Absolutely. I'm proud of you. Megan, congratulations to Making Good. You guys have been working on this for a while. Hopefully we'll be talking with Megan next week. But thank you, Tamara. Love you, and I'll call you later.
Love you.
Okay.
Congrats, Tamara.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Tamara Bass. If not now, when? Citizens, please support. Check it out. It's on demand and on.